Cars and Coffee Kings. My name is Ben, and it occurred to me that since this is actually called Cars and Coffee Kings, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal if I threw on a couple of my homemade recipes. Now, clearly I didn't make this recipe up. Well, this version of it is mine, but this has probably gone back, I don't even know how long. I learned about it in 2006, I think, from a friend of mine named Kim. Shout out to Kim. And I'm basically just going to go through and show you how to make what used to be called white trash, especially once you cover it with the powdered sugar. I'm not using the powdered sugar, not a fan. Also, I think in 2017 we can do better than white trash, so we're going to call it Reindeer Chow, and that'll be the last time we call it white trash. I spent a grand total of $31 at Walmart, and I got so much stuff, way more stuff than I would ever need. Unfortunately, everybody had the same exact idea as me, so I had to buy bigger quantities of stuff because everything else was sold out. Luckily, I was able to buy generic stuff. You can buy the generic stuff too, because once you cover it in chocolate and peanut butter, it doesn't matter how generic it is, it's going to be fantastic. And with this, I hope to accomplish a couple things. I just want to show you that guys like to cook. Anybody can cook. You can cook, or this isn't even really cooking. This is basically covering cereal and stuff, but you know, you don't have to go out and do anything special. You don't have to go out and buy anything. I've got just my regular pots and pans around the house. In fact, I didn't even have bowls that I thought were going to be big enough, so I'm just using the bowls that I use for storage. I'll use 2 of them, and I'll do a little bit of double dish duty. But that's the price you pay when you're going to make some homemade Christmas gifts, which people will appreciate. So not everybody can just go out and spend a bunch of money on Christmas gifts. I'm going to be able to, honestly, I could probably make 100 bags of reindeer chow out of what I've got here now. And yeah, it was $31. So, you know, throw them in a Christmas Ziploc, maybe put a card on them or a bow or something like that, personalize them, and it's a handmade gift, you know, and sometimes, most of the time, that's better than something you could just go out and buy. And again, like I said, it's super cheap, and not everybody can just go out and drop a bunch of, if you got 100 friends, and a lot of people do, and you care for most of them, you want to get them all a gift, and this is a way that you can do it for 30 bucks. It's just going to take you a little bit of time to make it, and a little bit of dish duty. But I'm going to go through and show you how I make my version of reindeer. It's basically peanut butter chocolate reindeer chow, and I hope you like it. This will be the first video, so pardon any kind of you know, rambling on or terrible quality. I'll eventually get back to this, I promise. I decided to make this on the fly, helping my mom out. We're making it for work, so we can give everybody at work a gift, so my kitchen is not exactly spotless right now, but this is what I went with. And keep in mind, you can definitely buy the cheaper stuff. I did on some of the stuff. When I got to Walmart, it was packed, and everybody wanted to make reindeer chow, apparently. So I was struggling just to find this stuff. So I can't tell you exactly how much this is going to make. I'm just going to eyeball it and make enough for what I need, but this is far more. I mean, this is a 33-ounce bag. That's a 33-ounce bag. We'll probably use a quarter of each one of these bags, the full bag of that, definitely the full bag of M&Ms, and all of this, and probably half a bag of pretzels, I think. Yeah, so like I said, that was $31. This is 24 Ziplocs. My mom said 10, but I'm going to make some up for my friends too. Yeah. So, oh, and one more thing. If you've ever been to Universal Studios and you were bummed out that they stopped selling the Dr. Seuss Moose Juice at Seuss's Landing, Taco Bell, coincidentally, has a tangerine cream icy right now. That's $1, and it is fire. Shout out to Taco Bell. I will take a sponsorship. Thank you very much. We love your food. I just did 2 beefy Frito burritos. Alright, so anyway, $31.27 I think is what I spent. And one more thing. Oh, that jar of peanut butter is my mom's, so we won't be touching that. This jar of peanut butter, on the other hand, is mine. It's crunchy. There's only a little bit left, and I'm just going to go ahead, because there's peanuts in it, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in the pan with the rest of the stuff when we melt it down. So this is going to be a fun part for some people. If you have, you know, some aggravations in your life or whatever, I find that these pretzel sticks, I was really looking for like the square ones that kind of look like that, but they're just the square pretzels that come in like regular Chex Mix. I could not find them again because Walmart was packed, but this was $1 for this giant bag of pretzels, and this is more than we'll ever need. So I just decided to take the sticks, and then I'm going to try and, you know, roughly break them in half. Or you don't want to get them too mushed up, so, you know, you don't want to be like karate chopping the bag. But if you take them out by hand and snap them basically in half, I would do about half the bag. And like I said, I'm going to try and use up all 24 of these, so that'll be the number we're shooting for is 24. These are quart Ziploc bags. Obviously, I'm not going to fill them all the way full, maybe just over a quarter of the way full on each one. I guess we'll see how much we end up with. But yeah, so now we're going to bang out these dollar bag of pretzel sticks real quick. Out some of these pretzel sticks and break them in half so we can throw them into the mix. And I want you to note that I gotta hold the camera with one hand, so I'm also going to one-hand these pretzels. So that also proves that anybody out there with, one hand or a disability could probably also make these. And we're just gonna do like that and try and make sure we get them. You know what, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna hire a cameraman for this next time. Like I said, you want to just kind of get them. And we're going to do, I don't know, it felt like half of this bag, but it doesn't look like I'm probably going to need half of this bag. But yeah, that's working pretty good. Pretzels are sharper than you think they are, folks. Be careful when you start breaking up pretzels. You'll note that I'm not using gloves. Basically, you won't be able to taste the germs through the chocolate and peanut butter. I did just go to Walmart, and I definitely did not wash my hands. So Merry Christmas. Just kidding. Alright, so you're watching me crush up pretzels. It's been a whole minute. I think that's enough for that. Got all the pretzels karate chopped up, and now we're basically going to take all of our ingredients, with the exception of the stuff that we haven't melted down yet, and the M&Ms, because the M&Ms are chocolate peanut M&Ms. And you can throw those in afterwards, because if you throw them in, obviously, with the melted chocolate and peanut butter, it's going to melt them down, and they won't be M&Ms anymore, and then you won't have your red and your green. So you can definitely throw those on afterwards. But right now, we are just going to mix up everything in the bowls. I'm going to do it in 2 bowls, because I don't have one bowl that's big enough to do everything. Oops, and I forgot to open the rice Chex Mix, so I'm just going to try and one-hand that real quick. So, let's see, opening the rice Chex Mix, and there's all my beat up. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll do half and half, since I gotta do 2 bowls. We'll try and make it as even as possible here. Alright, again, I wish I had 2 hands. And now we're going to get into, this made it pretty easy for me also because, well, Mario, but peanut butter cup flavored. I mean, I was already making it chocolate and peanut buttery, so in case I just don't do a good enough job mixing it, I'm covered anyway. So we're going to go ahead and throw some of those in. Man, that looks like straight up dog food. More of that. One hand in a bag. I wonder if I can finagle this somewhere. Hang on, I'm going to try and do better camera work. I'm learning, so yeah, I'm learning. Probably shouldn't put my hand directly over the camera here. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's just go back to manhandling. I told somebody they could do it with one hand. Let's do it with one hand. And I might have to make a couple bowls of this. Alright, seems like enough of that. That was about half of that bag. And now we're coming to, I got these. They were a neat shape. They were the right price. And they were out of Cheerios. These are basically Cheerios, but bigger and in a different shape. So that worked out pretty good. Open this hole up a little bit here. And bada bing. Now, my bowls are limited because I have to be able to still stir in them. And I've still got to add Chex Mix. So, alright. I'm just going to add that Chex Mix to that bowl. I don't think you need to see that. You can basically figure that out in your head. And then we'll come back and we will melt down some chocolate and peanut butter morsels and we'll get this popping. I ran into a small problem. I kind of backed myself into a corner. These bowls just weren't big enough and I filled them up too high. I tried to stir them with my hands and I realized that, man, if I couldn't do it with 2 hands, I don't know how I'm going to get through it with peanut butter and chocolate without just making a complete mess. So I grabbed the biggest pot, the only pot we have in my kitchen, basically the spaghetti pot, and I just upended that into that, and then did the old McGillicuddy here, and you get a nice shaky. So if you're running into some kind of problem, don't fret, you don't have to dump anything out. Some people, by the way, they do this in a Ziploc bag. Now, that is probably the cleanest way to do it, but you lose a lot of the chocolate and peanut butter that way. And I mean, I know it's not that big a deal, but like it hurts to watch somebody throw away basically a Ziploc bag full of melted chocolate and peanut butter. So I'm going to do my best not to waste anything here, because any of the leftover, obviously, we're just going to keep at the house and use for regular peanut butter and cereal. Alright, so that's all mixed up now. Well, we're about to get to melting the goodness. Alright, so what I got popping here is, you can see I've got many more bags. We're going to start off with 2 here. I got them cut open. That is the rest of my chunky peanut butter that nobody was using. Some people in my house don't like peanuts. I do. I just forgot I had it and there wasn't a bunch left, so I figured we'd throw it in there for a little bit more texture. Currently, we're just going to start off with 2 bags because I want to see how much that's going to make once it's all spread out, and then we'll go on from there. I figure you don't need to see me cook all 6 bags. 2 will do. So I'll show you what this looks like after we get through 2 bags. And these bags are, let's see. Well, first of all, they're delicious. I know, because I just took a mouthful. They're 11 ounces, so technically this is going to make 22 ounces. That's well over a pound. So, yeah. We'll see where we're at after 2 bags. And as you can see, I've got 2 bags and probably like the 5 ounces of roasted peanut butter, extra peanut butter that I just threw in there for shits and giggles. It's pretty easy. Got it on just over medium. I had it a little lower than that, but it didn't seem to be melting as fast as it possibly could have been. And you want to be careful because you can pretty quickly burn this. So just take your time, get it low, get it all down into a nice soupy chili mix of chocolate and peanut butter or whatever you decide to use. A lot of people use this stuff called almond bark. It's basically fake white chocolate as far as I know. I actually do like that. I would have thrown some of that in here, but then my mother wouldn't have been able to have any of this because she cannot stand white chocolate. But she loves both of these, so easy compromise. You can see how quickly and easily that melts down. Just keep beating at it and stirring at it. And then, like I said before, some people do it in a Ziploc bag, but you can see like just how much this is sticking to my I mean, it's not really sticking, but it, you know, you can see it comes right off. But it's, you know, physically currently stuck to this pan. And you would not be able to scrape that out of a plastic bag unless you cut it all the way open and then laid it down, and that would just be, it seems like a lot to me. So with the pan, you can just use this rubber spatula and right out into the pot over yonder, and then mix it up, probably the same rubber spatula if you wanted to. This one's a little bit short, so I'm probably going to swap over to something a little longer, but yeah, that is coming along. Yeah, it's getting real. It's going to feel real thick, because it is, but once it really gets to the right temperature and heats up, and if you were nervous about doing this in a pan like this, you could do it in like a double boiler. It's just really not a necessity. If you just take your time with this, you're not going to burn it. And it looks like, I feel like this is probably going to coat at least one of my bowls, and I'd say each one of those bowls probably has 30 ounces of stuff in it anyway. And then I'm going to throw the peanut M&M, or the, you know, the Christmas peanut M&Ms in, but they're not much weight anyway. So yeah, this is going to go pretty far, because remember, it's going to spread out pretty good. And then you're also going to be stirring it onto the stuff and then spreading it out onto the baking sheets over there like that, because you got to let it cool. But I can just start to hear this sizzle now, so that means it is too hot, so we could probably cut that off. And then basically we're going to transfer that right over to the pot. So we're going to take a quick cut here so I can walk over there and grab that pot. I hold my salt shaker to hold down my dealie here, because this is definitely going to take 2 hands. So pardon the half screen, but I've got a cabinet open with my phone. So basically what you're going to want to do here is, and you know, don't waste any of it. Look how easy that comes out. Just do one of these numbers into the pot. Get it in there all nice. Make sure you get everything out of the pan. Don't waste it. Now I'm going to be using this pan here again in like 2 seconds, so I'm just going to get the majority of everything out of the pan here. Also, don't do what I'm doing, getting your pan into the stuff, because you're going to, well, if you use it again, you're about to throw it back on the stove, and it's going to have peanut butter cooking on the side of it. So don't do that. Alright, good. My phone didn't fall in, so we're solid for right now. Now, you know the routine. Yeah, there's going to be some happy reindeers. I got wild pot action. Yeah, that was, so 2 bags. We'll easily do 35 ounces. of whatever you choose. I would go with not this rubber spatula. I'm beating this up a little bit more than I'd like to. I have other things I could use, but since I'm going to have to do a lot of dishes, I'd rather not. Let's get everything. Make sure you get down in there nice. Alright, so that's enough stirring. You've seen stirring before. We'll be back. What we got cracking here is just a pan with some wax paper on it. And you're basically just going to spread out your reindeer chow so when it cools, you'll be able to get it into the Ziploc with the greatest of ease. I can see that that is just now focusing. That's not cool. Now the wax paper, I would say 100% necessity, because you will be thoroughly disappointed when you're not able to get your reindeer chow off one of your pans because the chocolate basically froze to it or molded to it, whatever you want to call it. Just get this spread out nice. I've got 3 pans over there and I gotta fill up with this. And this makes so much more. Okay, so I bought and made. I can't imagine that you would ever need to make the amount that I have the ability to make with what I bought. But if you need to, when I said 100 people earlier, that was not an overestimation, because this is, I just didn't realize how big it was going to be once I was going to have to start putting it into the bags. Not a problem, it'll get eaten. Alright, so that's 1 pan. That's probably going to make up 6 bags. Yeah, I'd say that's going to make up 6 good-sized bags. Maybe I'll just go hard and make way more. Maybe we'll do like 4 bags out of it or something. We'll see what it makes. That's my biggest pan though, so I think that's probably just over a 12. It's probably like a 14-inch baking pan. Yeah. All right, so this is giant tray number 3 of reindeer chow. You can see all you do. Some people just leave it at room temperature. I'm making so much that I'm going to want it to cool all the way off, so I can definitely break it up. You can see that last batch didn't get stirred quite as well because just basically ran out of steam. I'm tired, and I'm tired of cooking food for fictional reindeers. Alright, so that's how much reindeer chow. That's a lot of reindeer chow, and I'll show you. A lot. That's 3/4 of a bag. That's half a bag. That's half a bag of pretzels, which you can't see right there. And then I still got half a bag of Chex Mix. Still got a bag of these that won't get used. These will get thrown on once they go into these. Yeah. So that's how you make reindeer chow. That's how you make 100+ people homemade holiday gifts for $31.27 or whatever I said it was earlier. And yeah, that took maybe 45 minutes total cooking time, including making the video. The rest of the time is just going to be it cooled off. Sorry, dishwasher, because you're going to have to run your dishwasher after you get the peanut butter on there. Yeah, so long story short, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed this, and eventually these videos will get better. Thanks. Cars and Coffee Kings, out.